everybody. This is Mitch Blackfoot Anthony again, and this is another episode of Signature Licks. Today, we are at the top of the Strand in the great town of Cherry Grove, and we're going to talk to one of the greatest entertainers in the region. I mean, he's got countless awards. He's got countless albums. This man is nothing but talent. That's right, we're talking about Jim Quick. We're going to talk to him today about all the things that he's done and all the things he's doing now and all the things he's going to do. He's very entertaining. You will enjoy this. This is Signature Licks. Welcome back, everybody. We are in the studio with Jim Quick. How's it going, buddy?
Good, Mitch. I mean, I just honored to be here, man. Excited about the new program you got.
Well, I'm glad you're letting us do this, man. I wanted to talk to you for a long time.
Well, vice versa.
Yeah.
I always enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, man. Let me say, you've been playing for decades in this region and back and forth in Nashville. Tons of originals.
Yeah, man. The catalog's getting bigger and bigger every year. I'm blessed in that regard.
Yeah.
I go back and listen to some of the stuff that I wrote in the early days, and I'm like, whoo,
Yeah.
I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But I'm sure a lot of people feel that way about their stuff. But I've learned a lot since going back and forth to Nashville, getting schooled.
Right. And a lot of musicians, they go into the studio and they just stay in there trying to make it better and better and better when it was right the first time.
Right. Man, it's like anything, I'm sure, writing and recording and everything else that we do, it's like the more you do it and the more, I've always felt like golfers are always better golfers when they hang around better golfers.
Right.
Right. If you play with mediocre golfers, then usually the best you're going to be is mediocre. So try to strive to hang out with better musicians and stuff like that. And, you get the vibes from them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You pick up on little things.
Yeah.
Writing in Nashville's been really cool, especially, I'm much of a country writer, but the Americana scene and the blues scene over there is really strong, so I've learned a lot,
Oh, cool. I didn't realize the blues scene, well, I know it's, you got Memphis and all that stuff, but I didn't realize that the blues scene was that large over there. But then again, they got country rap now.
Oh, right. So. Right. I was going to say, I don't think as far as like in Nashville, as far as like as tourism goes and the club scene and all that, not so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some blues clubs there, but when it comes to recording, I mean, you got the master, you got the Mac Daddy producers, and you got the best studios and stuff. So everybody, even hip hop and every form of classical music, and jazz and a lot of gospel, it seems like every genre goes to Music City. Record.
I got you.
So a lot of people that are music writers that want to be on the scene as far as their demos and stuff like that, I think they kind of migrated there. People like Kev Moe and Bonnie Raitt. And
Right. Well, let me ask you this: whenever you come, now I've witnessed this. You will come up with a title, a hook to a song, just by hanging out somewhere, and we're talking, or after a gig, we're just out in the parking lot talking or something like that, and then all of a sudden somebody said something, or you say something, hey, that'll be a good hook, and then the next week I hear a freaking song on the radio.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot, I think that happens to a lot of people. I mean, a lot of, it's that old saying that everything's been done. It's all been done. You think about all these song titles. I mean, there must be 40 different songs with the name Stay.
Yeah.
And there's probably 4 different songs that are number 1 with the name Stay.
Right.
And you got all these cliche songs, like the sun is going to shine again, or just something like that, blah, blah, blah. But when you hear somebody say something that ought to be a cliche and ought to be something, or just something the back end that you would never thought to say that way, it's like, wow, that's kind of brilliant. So I used to carry it back in the day. I used to carry around those little notepads and a pen all the time with me. Yeah. But now we got an iPhone,
Yeah. That's your life now.
I know. Notepads and everything, of course. I mean, shoot, I've seen people get an iPhone with a recording studio, the garage band,
right,
and sit around a room this big, and next thing you know, they got a killer song.
Exactly. But the way you do it is different than other folks. With the stuff that you put together, whenever you hear those cliches and stuff like that, you can, whenever we actually hear what went through your head, whenever that happened, it's special. I'm sure our listeners out there would like to know how you came to be on the Strand here. I mean, what brought you here?
Well, I mean, I grew up about an hour from here in an area outside of Laurinburg called Gum Swamp. And it was the closest beach, and really it was the closest thing that was happening. I was about the same distance from Florence and to Fayetteville, and it was a little bit further trek to go to Charlotte. So, and actually it was closer. Even though I was in North Carolina, it was close because of the way the state's shaped. It was closer to get to North Myrtle Beach than it was to get to Wilmington.
Yeah.
So my family spent a whole lot of time down here. My grandfather was a huge fisherman. He loved to fish, and he came down here a lot. And that could play a role later in my life. I worked on the shrimp boat and stuff in college and different things like that. But I don't know. I grew up in the Grand Strand area. People are like, when did you learn to shag and get into beach music? It's like, I don't even remember not doing that. It was part of my culture. And I just don't even remember. I don't remember not being here.
Right. I got you.
Even though I lived up in Wilmington most of my life,
right.
That was due to
this place molded you. It molded you.
Really, it did. I mean, and the reason I moved here permanently, made it my permanent residence, is because of working people like you. I mean, it's one of these the musicians that understood what I was doing were here. The fan base may not all live here, but eventually they come here.
Right.
There's more clubs in a confined area that plays the type of music that we do, and it's almost like going on tour without having to go anywhere with the rotation.
I know the feeling.
Fans,
I know the feeling. Definitely. This place is kind of special that way.
Right.
When COVID, whenever the 2008, when the economy went bad, it kind of messed up a little bit of that. For a lot of musicians,
right?
A lot of the. I remember Myrtle Beach from North Myrtle all the way down to Surfside. All the hotels had bands. You could play during the day at the hotel and then do a gig that same night.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, it changed a lot. I mean, I think everybody pretty much stayed at home for almost a year, I guess. Mm-hmm. I was living down in Charleston at the time. I'd gotten a place down there. I just ran into a deal, and I had a bunch of songwriter friends that were down there, and I decided to rent this small apartment down there for like a year, mm-hmm. just to experience the Charleston life. I found that when you're writing songs and doing different things, if you associate yourself with a different scenery and everything. So I was like riding downtown Charleston right when all this hit. I mean, I just got in the place, so I decided to go there. If everything's gonna be shut down, I'm gonna be somewhere. I'm gonna be by myself, something new and unique.
Right.
And so I ended up writing a whole lot of songs down there, and and also paint and do.
Well, it was calling you.
Yeah,
it was calling you.
I got some exercise done and everything, and so it was kind of a weird time. But the coach line at that point was approaching 28 years old, I guess, and we've been playing about 250 shows a year.
Ooh,
from like the entire Southeast. So I was getting a little burnt out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it was almost, even though it's a horrific event, it was almost kind of a breather for me. But it's amazing to me how the people in our industry, and especially in our region, where you play and I play, and I'm not trying to coin just this industry, because a lot of people, suffered and everything, but it's amazing to me how we all kind of stuck together and we all came through this.
Yeah.
Most of the bands most of them came back and are doing well.
Well, when we come back after this break, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on right now.
All right.
Okay?
Cool.
All right. We will be back after these messages.
Something gonna happen, better lose her cool. Wake up.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Jim Quick, and we're going to talk about what Jim Quick is up to now. So, Jim, what you doing now, buddy?
Man, I'm going to tell you the truth. After January 1st hit this year, it just it went insane. I mean, we went from, we were talking about, the pandemic and everything where everybody was doing nothing and slowly coming back into it. I'm talking about as soon as January 1st hit, my world changed. The flagship station for beach music and R&B is 94.9 The Surf. And the midday guy, he'd been there for years and years, an extremely popular guy. He had put in his notice a few weeks before, and they didn't really have anybody to fill in. And last minute, they asked me to fill in.
Wow.
Well, 7 months later, here I am, and still filling in,
Yeah, but you like it.
I love it. I started out in radio when I was 14, 15 years old. It's a big difference. Now, keep this in mind, back then I was slipping 45s. I was
Right.
vinyl.
Yeah.
And commercials were like on the 8-track looking things or carts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked in there and like, what's the last computer you used? And I'm like, Atari. Atari, I don't know. The last time I used a computer. My phone, I don't know. I don't ever get like on a computer. So, but it's been a learning experience, but it's been a lot of fun because I get to connect with the fans in a different way. Mm-hmm. It's one thing to do like the podcast and the syndicated radio show, but when you're actually, it's like it's a live broadcast and they're interacting through the internet, through our app and through phone lines. It's constantly live and a virtual, real-time contact with the fans, and at first it was mind blowing,
Right.
But now it's like it's an energy, it's a rush once I got accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But working in radio school, and especially the fact that they let me kind of do what I want to. They're not. I mean, they have certain boundaries, but really, it's only like as far as scheduling and clocks and stuff. But music-wise, they're like, have at it. Just make sure you don't offend anybody.
Right.
So I mean, that's been a lot of fun, and especially because it reminded me where I came from too. Because
that's what I was about to say.
It not only format wise and work wise, but musically, I mean, I go back to, I'm playing these Sam Cooke songs again and these Otis Redding songs and, Wilson Pickett and all these classic songs from the Monzas and the Embers and stuff like this. And it's reminding the Ink Spots, and it's reminding me what cultured me to where I am today.
Well, it's crazy how life works like that, because we're in our early 50s and it circles. It circles. I like to say life circles.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have a bunch of circles that make up a whole big circle.
Right.
And they always come around in some way or another. And as you age and mature, they start to make sense.
Yeah.
They start to make sense. And it's kind of like a feeling of moving to another level.
Right. I mean, I get it. I mean, I remember there's this one conversation that T.D. Jakes was having on an interview, and he talked about the people's circles, and of course, how if your circle, if the people in your group, if they're all coming to you, then you've outgrown your circle. But not only that, your circle changes in life, and you'll remember things that you did, like when you were a kid, would have brought us in this industry, but that feels like you were 4 or 5 different people ago. I don't feel like I'm the same person as that person. Right. But at the same time, those circles are all still connected, and somehow or another, you always come back around to them, and you get those emotions, and you always end up dancing with the one that brought you.
Right.
Type deal.
Right.
You just remember where you came from.
Yeah.
When you do, it's this euphoric thing, and it's like, man, I remember feeling that way the first time I heard so and so.
But now
the first time I went to see Tower of Power, and then I remember that.
And you also understand when it comes back around why she left you on the dance floor by yourself.
Oh, yeah. 3 times. It took the house. Took the house every time.
Well, let's not go into that one.
We're going to keep it on the light side.
Right. But we're going to talk about, you have a new album coming out.
I do. The last album we did, I got to talk to you about this because I actually want to use you on some different projects we're doing. But as far as the Coastline stuff goes, I've gotten really intrigued. The last album we did, speaking of old school, we went to Asheville to the studio that everything in there is pre-1964.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the amplification, the microphones, just everything, the recording equipment, and they've even got the instruments if you want to use that there. It's called Echo Mountain Studios, and it's incredible. A free plug there for you guys. But anyway, it's an awesome studio, and we had we call the album The Revival because to revive what the old sound and everything.
Right,
we put it out on vinyl to give it that authentic sound and everything else. So, and it was a huge success. We had 6 #1 songs off of it, just in the Southeast. We want to go back and do another one. But this time, I want to kind of, even though we're going to be using that older school sound, even though like
analog system.
Yeah,
nice.
Reel to the works and everything. They eventually transferred it over to Pro Tools and to go through but
it still has a warmth.
Yes, it really does. I wish you can go all the way through, but it wouldn't work in today's society because you got to put things where they can download them and stuff.
Right. Sure.
You eventually have to switch over to digital.
Does it lose a lot of generation once you do that?
It expands it. It's kind of weird because analog is such a narrow thing. So it really kind of, what it does is it clips the top end. And so that's why it sounds so warm, is because it's compressed and it just feels so big. But really, when things go back to digital, well, if you do an analog start with, there's only so much it's going to give you. So you kind of keep that warmth.
Right.
But when you do digital the whole way, and you have to, notice when the difference when we were recording 30 years ago and we're recording now, it's like it catches every single flaw.
Yeah.
It's almost like how much time you have to EQ just your hi-hat with your work and stuff.
Right.
Back then it was a lot more forgiving.
Like HD. My camera side is this side because I have a mole on this side.
Well, this is my good side. Right. Walking away is my good side.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to come back, and I want to talk about your style of music and show some folks a little something on a harmonica.
Yeah.
Or you can sing a little something.
Both, man.
I'm sure they'd love to see that. If they've never seen you before,
right?
They'll enjoy it. I enjoy this man singing. It's something else. We'll be back right after this.
Excellent.
Welcome to Wingding, With a variety of services to offer, we are an end-to-end one-stop shop for digital media production and distribution. Our company originated in podcasting, video production, and digital marketing space, affording us a solid background for growing your brand through media distribution. Contact us at wingdang.tv so we can do what we do for you.
Hey man, I'm on my way to the finest place for everyone to play, where the drinks are cool and the sun is hot, and the Myrtle's in this marsh walk.
Enjoy spectacular waterfront dining and live music with breathtaking saltwater marsh views at the Myrtle's Inlet Marsh Walk. Marsh Walk, where the view, the music, and the fun are always free. Marsh Walk, Highway 17 Business, Waterfront, Myrtle's Inlet.
Welcome to the Production Warehouse. The Production Warehouse is a premier live stream soundstage studio conveniently located in the heart of Myrtle Beach. We stage, film, and broadcast multiple types of shows, anything from a live concert performance to local and regional TV-style talk and news shows. We also write, produce, and create promotional ad spots for web, TV, and radio. The Production Warehouse is a service company that facilitates the marketing needs of local business and entertainment industry professionals. Our dedicated staff takes pride in every aspect of your media project. We utilize area professionals and resources necessary to ensure that we render the best service possible. For all of your production needs, please contact us at 843-267-3818 or visit us at theproductionwarehouse.com.
Hey everybody, we're back with Jim Quick, and we're going to talk to him about the style of music that he calls his own. It's called, what was it, Swamp Soul?
Swamp Soul.
So tell everyone what Swamp Soul means.
Well, you know, I got tired of people asking me, what kind of music do you play? And we decided eventually, after about, well, the band's 30 years old. So I guess about 15 years ago, Casey, who is like my co-writer and really kind of partner in crime when it comes to Coastline, we decided to coin it. We were we knew that I grew up in the swamp lands and spent most of my life, like we said, in low-lying areas where it's, you know, the outside of Wilmington or outside of the Gum Swamp area or down in Charleston in the lowlands. It was always around that music scene. And Casey and I realized that, it's this rock soul type thing that we do. What's amazing, we'd come to, in a conversation, we realized that we play gospel music, traditional, like quartet gospel music. Like Willie Neal Johnson and the gospel keynotes, the spiritual stuff that Sam Cooke was in, and people like Johnny Taylor prior to their secular world. Okay. So we did a lot of music based on that kind of stuff, and then we realized jazz, so gospel, jazz, country, rock and roll, southern rock. It all came from the South. It all came from really, the birth is really in this area. I mean, from, the Southeast United States. And it's just like, wow, all the areas we toured, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's us, and it's kind of this culmination of things. We don't really lean one way or another. And, of course, we kind of made a little pop here for the modern area and for younger people to get into. So, but, we decided, with swamp music, and for the most part, all soul music is kind of derivative of all that, So we decided swamp soul,
Right. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
And we coined it, and, we trademarked it and everything.
Well, we're going to play. He brought his harmonicas in, and I had the brilliant idea of bringing my djembe in. So we are going to jam a little bit for you guys.
Right on. Let's do it. Let's see here.
Djembe.
I'm gonna use a different key this time.
Well, I can't change the keys of the djembe.
There we go. You pick your groove. Now, did you ever meet somebody who likes all the same thing that you do? I met a red light of love at first sight, and can this be true? Yeah, the one thing about it, you know, she the same kind of crazy as me. Yeah, there's one thing about it, she the same kind of crazy as me. One, two, three, the same kind of crazy as me.
All right. That was awesome, brother.
Man, thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Everybody, Jim Quick. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
I met a runway model in New York City. She said she loved to hear me talk. I said that suits me fine. I'm from Carolina and I say anything to watch you walk. Well, when I got to know her better, I brought her down here just to meet my folks. I said, listen here, honey, we might talk funny. You can laugh, but it ain't no joke. Cause that's the way we do it down south, baby. We know how to have our fun. When you see what it's all about, sugar, you're gonna wanna get you some. So when you hear that southern drawl fall out of my mouth, get with it, baby. Cause that's the way we do it down south. We got grits and greens, black eyed peas. It's all chicken fried, but the peach ice cream. White corn liquor will get you there quicker than any martini you'll ever drink. We like to skinny dip up in the Waccamaw River by the light of the Tar Heel moon. If you ain't got it by now, girl, you will when I get through with you. That's the way we do it down south, baby. We know how to have our fun. When you see what it's all about, sugar, you're gonna wanna get you some. So when you hear that southern drawl out of my mouth, get with it, lady. 'Cause that's the way we do it down south. There's East Coast style and West Coast wild, and everything in between. And once you get a taste of sweet and southern soul, you're gonna find out what I mean. I'm gonna sing it like a tambourine. That's the way we do it down south, baby. We know how to have our fun. And when you see what it's all about, sugar, you gonna wanna get you some. So